Greetings, all you Jacks and Jennets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, coming to you with the BugCap of the Ravens game. Bugaboo, how you doing over here? Good. Tough loss this week, don't you think? Dropping the Steelers to 5-8. 16-14. Typical Steelers-Ravens score. Kind of a typical Steelers-Ravens game, as it was hard fought the whole way through. Bug, anything you saw in there that concerned you or made you happy about the way the game went?
No.
No. A little upset that Kenny Pickett got injured pretty early?
Yeah.
You were saying something about Mitch Trubisky that I wasn't quite sure of, but you're not wrong. What were you saying about him earlier? You said
he's making some good passes.
He was making some good passes, but the big bugaboo, let's just say, was the fact that he was throwing it to the other team in areas to score, and in a game like this, you can't do that. And yes, I made sure to say the proper bugaboo word because I don't want to get in trouble like some RG3 analyst on ESPN who got in trouble for saying some things he probably shouldn't have. But let's get down into breaking down the game, Bug. What did you really see out there? I mean, we gave up 200 yards rushing. We couldn't run the ball. We threw the ball okay, but we turned the ball over. Special teams was a loss on all factors. To you, what was the biggest problem for the Steelers? Was it their offense, their defense, their special teams, or just a conglomeration of just not being good enough?
Not being good enough.
They weren't being good enough. I agree with you. I think what you saw out there was Baltimore Ravens playing with a backup quarterback who gets hurt, so they have to play a third-string quarterback. Now, the Steelers had a starting quarterback who got hurt, so we had to play a backup. But still, the advantage in quarterback should have been the Steelers the whole time. The Ravens were without Zeitler, one of their better offensive linemen. They're without all sorts of talented players on that team, and it just still seems like the Ravens have a more talented roster. And we can't pull the Ravens have terrible seasons, because they really don't under Harbaugh. So this is a team that shows the Steelers' talent acquisition just might not have been there. But I'll get into more of that with Steelers talk with Lashkers and Gingy. But, Bug, were you impressed at all by what you saw on offense? Let's start with the Steelers on offense. Were you impressed at all with what you saw?
No.
No. Was there any player that stood out for you? I mean, George Pickens made a few pretty nice contested catches.
Yeah.
Got us cheering a little bit. Felt like we were in the game. Let's go to the offense. I mean, offensive line played bad. Kenny Pickett gets hurt before you can really evaluate his day. Still don't know how he was. If he had a concussion, it was on the first drive, but he was allowed to go back into the game for the second drive, but then was taken out of the game after the second drive. That seems really weird to you, don't you think? Like, if he was hurt the first drive, should they have ever let him go back in?
No. If them take him out, him out.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it should have been, but that's not what happened. Then Mitch Trubisky comes in. The Steelers do move the ball pretty well, but one read Mitch was one read Mitch. People can say what they want, but all three of those interceptions, Mitch Trubisky's eyes are what's to blame. The one where they run a route over a route, the corner starts cheating off his wide receiver because Mitch is staring down Pat Freiermuth. The other one in a zone, both the linebackers and the safeties are reading Mitch's eyes, and they quadruple cover Freiermuth, and Mitch still throws the ball. Interception again while the Steelers are in scoring zone. Then we get the ball to 48, borderline scoring zone, and there's double coverage deep, and Mitch just says, whatever, I'm just going to throw it up there. Not even near the receiver. The deep ball accuracy was terrible, and just goes right to the defender. And those three turnovers, along with a block kick, are what really did the Steelers in. Because let's be honest, the Steelers only scored 7 points before the Ravens played prevent and garbage time to try to prevent the Steelers from scoring quick. The Steelers score a touchdown in garbage time, but it's too little too late as Mike Tomlin decides, with his defense's inability to stop anything on the ground, I'm going to kick the ball deep, not go for the onside kick, and pray my crappy defense can get the job done. And it doomed the Steelers, did it not?
Yeah.
As the Ravens just run the ball right down our throat. I think that's a great way to break into the defense, Bug. I mean, yeah, the Ravens threw for less than 100 yards, but they had a backup of the third-string quarterback in there. Of course, they weren't going to throw the ball much. We didn't even sniff. I guess T.J. Watt technically got a sack, but we didn't even sniff pressuring the quarterback as the front seven played terrible yet again. The linebackers weren't playing very good out there. The defensive line playing bad out there. You give up 200 yards to a backup and third-string quarterback when you know all they're going to do is run the ball. That tells me this team is one thing, Micah. S-O-F-T, soft, soft, soft. Every player out there is soft. When you know another team is trying to impose their will on you and you let them do it, you're soft. Is that fair? Sure. Do you think this defense is strong, or you think this defense is pretty soft giving up 200 yards?
So soft.
So soft, exactly. They're like the Charmin Ultra Soft you got to wipe your hiney with. These guys are not getting out there. They're not being physical. I'm very sad to see Wormley's season end, as he was one of the few guys who's been performing, I guess I'll call it at the above average rate. That's essentially what happened all day in the Steelers game, is that interception that you saw on the little thing, if it's timed right on the audio. But just a soft defense that can't stop the run. You're playing backup quarterbacks. You let them run the ball. You get embarrassed at the end as they run the ball to run out the clock when your coach showed faith in you. Schematically, these guys are put in positions to lose. We don't have the size in the middle. We're scheming up bad formations. The linebackers are getting blown off the ball because the defensive line can't hold a gap. But we're not done on problems for this team. Offense, without Kenny Pickett, turnover problems. Remind you, Kenny Pickett, no turnovers the last 4 games. Mitch Trubisky comes in, 3 quarters, 3 turnovers. Not a very good sign. Defense, you know they're going to try to run the ball. You can't stop the run. Let's talk about special teams. And how have the Steelers not brought in another punter to try out yet? After Presley Shankopotamus shanks another one, a 17-yard punt that sets up a Baltimore Ravens touchdown, I believe. How are the Steelers letting this guy go out and punt every week when he's proven he's inconsistent? Whether or not he gets it done in practice, I don't care. The game tape shows he's not very good at being consistent, is he? And then we bring back Chris Boswell, so all is supposed to be fixed in the kicking game. But here's the thing, Bug. It wasn't all fixed, was it? Calais Campbell, the known stopper of great field goal blockers, makes himself skinny, gets through the hole, and blocks a field goal that could have been huge in the game, although the game plays out completely different if the Steelers get that field goal and it doesn't become a 2-score game the next Baltimore drive. Things go completely different, in my opinion. But how do you let a guy like Calais Campbell, who, when you're scheming against the Ravens, your special team should know that that's the one guy who you have to stop. How do you let Calais Campbell block a kick, Micah? Just, isn't it bad execution by the players, bad preparation by the coaches, bad scheme by the coaches? What do you think it was?
Bad by the coaches.
Bad by the coaches. I agree with that. The Steelers, this game, looked like they had 3 subpar coordinators, and it showed because the talent level is below Baltimore. The coaching level seems to be below Baltimore, at least on the coordinator level. I won't say on the head coaching level because Tomlin and Harbaugh have been very close through the years. But at least on the coordinator level right now, it seems Baltimore has a big advantage. And the fact is, the talent level on the team, Baltimore has an advantage. And that leads to a heartbreaking 16-14 loss because the way the rest of the AFC played out, if the Steelers won this one, it could have been a huge jump for the Steelers having a decent chance at making the playoffs, all things considered the way the season was going, if they pulled out this win at Acrisure Stadium. But they don't. They lose become 5-8. The game was 16-14, the score. Just bad on all 3 phases. I'll break down some schematics more later in the week. Bug, any shout-out you want to give after this loss, or we just kind of want to leave it as a...
Yeah, no shout-outs.
No shout-outs, okay. Well, then I guess it's time to let you know I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Bugaboo over there. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of donkey with Ginger's YouTube channel. Follow us for this awesome BugCap, for the Power Rankings, and for Steelers Talk. Let us know if there's any more content you want or any content you're really not a big fan of. Let us know. All feedback's good feedback so we can improve the show for everybody watching. But, Bug, I guess it's that time. We got to let Steeler Nation know. We got to let Donk Nation know to wave them if you got them.
Here we go, Steelers.
Good job, buddy.